And let's begin in prayer. Father God, we just give you thanks for this time together and for all of us on this webinar and those who'll be joining us through the recording. Really, those who bring their gifts and vision to the work of nurturing our youth. And Father God, may our conversations today just be filled with openness, creativity, and compassion. Guide us to listen deeply, to learn from one another, and to plant the seeds of hope that we hope will grow into communities of faith and service and joy for our youth. This we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. So I'm going to share my presentation. Okay. So just to um, so basically, my name is Mike Gilman. I am the grants coordinator for the Synod of the Northeast. I manage virtually all of the grants that we have, which is quite a bit. If you go onto our website, it's not just the youth grant. We have a lot of different grants that we're excited about. I'm going to take questions at the end. So if you have anything that comes up, we can address them at that time. Let me tell you just a little bit about this grant. This is one of our exciting grants because it really helps us to encourage and strengthen the vital leadership of a lot of the youth within our congregations. These grants are used to support initiatives both new and ongoing that nurture leadership skills. They amplify the young voices. They foster meaningful engagement within the church and beyond. So to give you just a little bit of a taste of some of our recent grantees so that you can see what they do, there are many. And I only picked a few, but they're very diverse but they're doing some great things out there. Good Success Academies, they've been awarded several grants through the year. The last one that they did with us was the School to Life Initiative Summer Employment Program, and it really helped to equip youth to become the leaders of tomorrow by fostering personal growth, responsibility, professional readiness. It's dedicated to ensuring that all young people, particularly those from minority communities, can gain the essential skills needed to really thrive beyond high school. They actually have paid summer employment opportunities. So those who have completed the academic year can go on to those type of work experiences. They also help with their college planning workshops, and then also transitioning into their higher learning or the workforce or anything associated with responsible adult life. Whoops, what happened there? There we go. Is everybody seeing that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I hit a different button there. Another program is the Institute of Music for Children. They also have had several grants that the Synod has awarded. One of their programs, their Youth Leader program, is really a structured multi-tier initiative for young people age 14 to 21, actually, who demonstrate a sustained commitment to personal growth and serving others. They have one program, which is a 24-week after-school program, and the students that are involved with that can get up to 30 hours of paid employment. They also have a 6-week summer program, and the youth within that can work up to 200 hours. They receive mentorship and hands-on training designed to cultivate leadership, responsibility, and workforce readiness. It also serves as a long-term leadership pipeline for youth for low-income communities. Most of the participants are graduates of their after-school and the summer arts program, and it creates a dynamic cycle of mentorship and growth. A lot of these go on to pursue successful careers both within and beyond the arts, which is really a testament to the program's lasting impact on personal and professional development. Then another one that we have recently awarded a grant to was the Calvary Presbyterian Church, which does a youth service night. So this is a little bit different than just your typical youth fellowship gatherings. This is a creative program that serves both the broader community and the participating youth by providing meaningful opportunities for growth and service. They actually partnership with Joseph's House in Camden, New Jersey, and that program supports individuals who are experiencing homelessness. And the youth are involved in preparing the meals and really giving a sense of hope to this community. They have hands-on service opportunities. They cultivate compassion and develop really good frameworks of teamwork and fellowship by really making a tangible difference in the lives of others and within that community. So they're doing some fantastic jobs there. I just want to be able to see. Okay, so let's get a little bit into the actual grant. So this grant is for a maximum of $7,500. If and we when you go into your budget, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but really focus on what you absolutely need. If your program only really needs 2,500 or 5,000, ask for that. Your budget's going to show the evaluators really what the income and expenses and all are. If you don't need the full thing, they can kind of read through that within your application anyway. So try to stick to what you actually need. But the project has to be within the geographic boundaries of the Synod, which is our eight states in the Northeast, from New Jersey all the way up to Maine. It should be something that develops youth and young adults as leaders in their community. So it's got to be focused on developing some leadership within the youth that are attending. It really should be collaborative. So you should be looking at programs that connect with the congregation, connect with your presbytery, connect with other organizations within your community. And something very important, it should exemplify the Synod values of community, where we're talking about creating a network of support and challenge for youth, diversity, inclusion, where we're really reaching across divides to kind of engage a diversity of young people, and then missional identity, how it focuses on service to and then engagement with the broader community. I'm going to go through. I'm going to give you some tips now on some of the different ways of writing a compelling grant application. So hopefully some of these will give you, if you haven't written one before, they're basic tips that I hope might be helpful. The first, and I can't stress this enough, plan ahead. Now, right now, there is a little over 4 weeks left in this grant cycle. So this grant application has to be submitted by 11:59 p.m. on December 6th. So you've still got time, but you want to, if you haven't started it yet, now's the time to plan for it, and get everything prepared so that it's a good quality application. And the essential part of this is your vision team. You're going to want to assemble all the different people who are going to be involved in writing and accounting or ministry, and everybody who's going to be involved with this project should have some type of input into this application. So then it becomes more of a team rooted application versus one that sometimes could be more I-centered, where I have this vision, I want to do this, I want to do that. Your team is the big vision in this whole process. So to get into starting the application, you're going to go to our website, which is synodnortheast.org, synodne.org. And then once you're in that, you're going to see a header. Just go in and click the grants column that's right there. It's going to then take you to all the different grants. Then you want to hit the Youth Leadership Development Grant. And then something that's exciting, this grant is actually the first time that we have offered the Youth Development Grant in different languages. So we now have applications available in English, Korean, and Spanish, really to serve our diverse congregations. So you can download the application in the language of your choice. One thing you're going to need to know, though, is that you're going, if you do that, you're going to need a translator to translate that application back into English. Unfortunately, the grant interface that we use only accepts English as the input language. So you can plan everything, you can write everything creatively in the language of your choice. You just need somebody to interpret it for you. And here's what you'll see when you go into that. So you're going to see three different locations. The first one is in English, obviously. The second one Korean, and the third one in Spanish. Just hit any of those tabs, and it's going to bring you right to the application. Now, nothing happens. You can download that application, but nothing is actually going to happen until you hit this Apply Now button. And that's going to take you right into the grant interface to start entering your information. If you have never submitted a grant, you're going to want to create a new account. Check to make sure that your organization or your church hasn't already submitted an account, because it's going to, if you're creating a new account, it's going to ask for all types of your EIN numbers and all of that. Quite possibly your church may have already started an account. If not, you would create a brand new account, follow the information that's needed on there. If you have an account established, you would just be entering your email address and the password. And obviously, if you forgot your password, just click on that link there, and we can get it reset for you. So this takes you right in. I'm going to be showing you basically the English application process, but it's the first couple of questions are really just your basic question, the type of applicant you are. Are you a first time? Have you ever applied for the Youth Adult Leadership Grant before? Or are you returning? Because you can, we do award multi-years on this. So if your ministry qualifies and is accepted, you can apply for more years, subsequent years down the road for that. The maximum funding is for $7,500. And then they also want to know if within all of the other grants that the Synod offers, have you ever received funding from any of those? This is where we get into really some of the most important parts of the application. Your vision statement really has to be creative into what you're trying to accomplish. What is your vision within your community? What is the individuals that you're trying to attract? What is the impact that you're trying to make? Really, how did this vision come to you? What was the discernment process that the Holy Spirit was guiding you in this vision of doing this youth ministry program? Is it a short-term project or a long-term project? And we don't exclude the short-term project. So a short-term project might have a really big impact. It might be just something that you do for you know, a couple of weeks during the summer or something. But just designate of you know what that plan is. If it's short term, we do a summer program, outline the dates and so forth. It could, if it's a long-term program, just let us know that it's something that goes on all year. Um, Leadership is very, very, very important in this. I kind of discussed a little bit about that in the beginning, but you want to have a team that's there that's diverse, that has a lot of input into this project. And the reason for that is we have found over the years that those applicants that pretty much just have the one adult leader, and everything is pretty much decided and done upon by that one leader, their chances of sustainability are not as great as those who really have developed a team that functions together and works together to accomplish the goals. So this all adds to that. So who makes decisions about the ministry? It should really be a team, not one individual. Again, you're on all of these, you're going to be getting, watch your character counts, which you're, and it won't let you go over this. So for each of these questions, it's going to ask you, there's a limit of 2,000 characters. At the end of the application, before you go and submit it, it will tell you if any of these categories have exceeded the character length. So you're going to want to really think carefully about how best you can articulate all of these different things within that character limit. So as I said before, some of the ascendant values of community, diversity, inclusion, missional identity, those are really important questions that you've got to identify as part of this ministry. And then measuring success. What does success look like to you? And if success isn't happening, what markers do you have along the way to maybe change direction in some way, so that not everything is always going to plan, but if you have some plans ahead of time, is if it's not working in this direction, this is what we also plan to do. That helps us to understand that there's sustainability in this ministry. Presbytery connections. Now, under these grants, we do not require that the presbytery endorses this grant. However, we do want to know what connections you might have to your presbytery. Do they know that your project is out there? Are they helping you to promote it? Are they giving you any financial resources or helping you with other training resources? Any of that within the relationship, we want to know how you know what that is. And then this is pretty much almost at the end, but it just anything else that comes to mind, any comments or information that you'd like to provide, maybe that haven't been addressed in some of the other essay questions, this is your opportunity to put them in there. Now, the next section goes into additional materials. These are not required. However, I always say these show a lot more than what just a narrative will do. Your pictures or videos really show the program in action. They show the youth involved with the service work. They show what's really happening in that ministry. Our evaluators cannot go and attend and see your ministry in person. So this tells them a lot more than just the narrative. It brings to life everything that you're doing. Again, it's not required, but I strongly recommend that you consider that as part of the package. And please see what there's file sizes on there. So just make sure what you're sending doesn't exceed, because we wouldn't get it otherwise. And then the next part is your financial matters. So if you're a ministry that's already up and running, we're just going to want to see your income and expense report for the previous or the fiscal year. If it's not up and running, we're looking really for a projected budget, expenses and income. And I'll go through some ideas of what to include with that in just a minute. So you can really upload your files in Excel or however you want right directly into your application. So some tips on building really a strong grant budget. You want to tie everything back to that vision statement, to the mission of what you're trying to accomplish. You want to be careful to really just show the realistic cost and reasonable estimates. You can also, as part of this, look at in-kind support or matching funds. So, for instance, maybe there is a store within your community that will help to donate some food or things like that. That's all what we would look at as in-kind support, donations that come in that you're not actually paying for, but it helps to see the sustainability of the project and also how you're actually reaching out further into the community. It could also be things like um, office supplies, maybe people donate, or a variety of things. But think that through, that there might be opportunities for funding that might just be things that people could offer and give to you that will help in the ministry. So you're going to look at expenses and income. What I did on this, I just gave you I took apart really another grantee that was awarded and without giving their exact stuff, but just give you an example of what they were looking for. So they had faith and food gathering, devotional resources that were used in that. They had youth activity bundles that they purchased. They went on a retreat. They may have had this was a community dinner program actually, so they had a lot of expenses in your paper products, your disposable cups, to-go boxes, etc. Some travel and mileage costs that were associated with that, and then other office supplies or printing or technology that might be needed. So in this, they estimated approximately $6,100 a year to accomplish this program. And then they looked at income. So what we hope for when we look at the income source is that everything is not just predicated on the grants from the Synod, that there might be other income sources that are coming in. Because if the Synod money isn't there, maybe in year two, and you have no other means of collecting income, sadly, the probability of that ministry continuing is lessened. So you want to look at every type of income source that might be available. Maybe, in here I've got what is a possible grant from the Synod, maybe your presbytery, maybe the church that the program is being done in has some donations. Perhaps the community, you might have some fundraisers with that. Or then again, as I said, any in-kind donations, those would be gone. Those would be listed under your income sources. All right, so I want to get into just some final tips on do's and don'ts, and want to think this through as you're going through the next 4 weeks in writing this application. But tell a story. Really start with the why. What's happening in your community? What are the needs and opportunities, and maybe the unique culture of your youth leadership community? And share some real stories. Maybe a student who found faith through fellowship, or a justice project that connected youth and the neighbors. Connect to the Synod's mission, and I said this throughout this presentation, and because it's important. Use the Synod language, emphasize innovation and inclusion and collaboration and transformation. Show how your ministry is actually nurturing these emerging leaders, how it's building community across the differences, how it's serving the gospel in new contexts and new and innovative ways of bringing the gospel alive in your community. as I said, lead with the why, but be clear and concrete. Define what you're doing. Who's involved with this ministry? What does success look like? The evaluators that look at these, they love clear plans with real people and stories that are attached to that. You also, again, you want to connect to the Synod values of community, diversity, inclusion, missional identity. I can't stress that enough. Build a realistic mission aligned budget. Every line in your budget should reflect your purpose. It's a tool. It's not just a spreadsheet. Where possible, look at demonstrating collaboration. How do you partner with your congregation and church? How do you partner with presbyteries? How do you partner maybe with campuses in your area or other ecumenical partners? When there's a shared vision, we often see that there's shared strength. And then, as I said, help the reviewer see the human impact. How does this ministry shape lives and strengthen faith? And obviously, with do's comes don'ts. So here's some advice of what not to do. Don't just focus only on the events. Sometimes we see just a list of programs. We're going to do this, this, and this. That doesn't always show impact. Describe what changes or growth happens because of the things that you're doing. Don't overpromise. You know, and ambition is good, but honesty builds trust. If you're starting something brand new, say so. That's tremendous. But just describe how you're going to learn from it. How are you going to measure success? What are the markers that you might have to shift some things around with if they're not working? And obviously this is important because I keep bringing it up, but don't ignore diversity inclusion. It's something we place great value on. Just be explicit about how your ministry welcomes all youth and young adults. Don't submit a vague budget. We read look at some real concrete numbers on this so that we know that it has been thought out. Don't just have this big line of miscellaneous. That's really going to raise red flags to the evaluator. So just show realistic estimates. Take some time and think about all the different expenses. Don't forget about accountability. Share how you'll measure the progress and as I said, adapt if things aren't going as planned. And don't wait until the last minute. I have seen so many grant proposals that come forth that they're submitted at 11:45 p.m. on the night that they're due. And when you read them, you know that a lot of thought was not put into it because they were rushing to get it through at the last minute. There's 4 weeks left. 4 weeks is plenty of time for this grant application to really still put something very meaningful together. So just some final thoughts, and then in a minute we'll go to questions. But let your why shine through every answer and every budget line. Passion that's grounded in purpose is really inspiring confidence and partnership. Keep it real. Authenticity matters more than perfection. Be honest about your context, your capacity, what you're still learning from, and how you can grow from that. Tell the human story, and I've said this before. Behind every grant is a person, a community, and a vision, a dream. So let the reviewers see the faces and kind of hear the voices, not only through your narrative, but also in the pictures and the videos that you can submit. Hear the voices of those who are really being impacted by what you're accomplishing. Show collaboration and accountability. No ministry stands alone. You want to see how, tell us how your network of the congregations, your network of leaders, your network of young people and those within the community are sharing this vision, and then how you'll together track progress. And then just a final thought, remember this, that the grant is a tool, it's not the goal. Funding is going to help your ministry grow, but it's the transformation that happens through relationships and creative leadership and God's grace that works among you, that is really the goal that you're trying to accomplish with this. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'll go back to you guys and any questions.
So the age for this are up to 22?
The one grant that I explained that was their program. Pretty much that's what we would be looking for in the age group. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sure. Anything else? Was this helpful?
Very much. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm going to send you the slides, but also on the last page of the slides. In fact, let me just share this again. Okay, so on this page is my contact information. This is even my personal cell, which I'm happy to give to you. My email address, those will be all in the information that I'm going to send you after this anyways. But the point that I'm really trying to make is I'm a resource to you. I have no decision whatsoever in awarding of the application. I serve as a resource to our applicants and a resource to the mission working group that recommends funding. So I'm here for any questions that you have. I'm full-time pastor as well as being a part-time with the Synod, but I really get energized by having the opportunity to speak to people about the great things that you're doing out there, and it's the best part of my day when I get to talk about grants and some of the programs that are going on. So don't hesitate. Don't think, oh, I'm afraid to bother them. Please bother me. I want you to share your stories, and I'll lead you as best I can within boundaries, obviously, of how to help you build a strong application.
I know you don't want any midnight calls the night of the grant is due, so.
No, I don't.
No pastoral counseling, huh?
But yeah, I mean, it's
Thank
we
you.
have a lot of different grants that are out there. There's some that I would say if we're 4 weeks out, you're going to be scurrying to get things accomplished. This one, there's plenty of time. So, download the application. You don't even have to go into the system yet. Download the application, start writing it out, get your team assembled. And then as you're going through, say, I wonder about this or that. At that time, reach out to me and I'll help as best I can.
Michael,
Yes, Andrew.
I had a question about just sort of balance in the grant. If we're applying about a particular event, but the event has an impact that lives on beyond it's a travel experience for students,
Sure.
And so if there are things that play out, do you have any advice about striking a balance of the value of the experience itself, but then also sort of the afterlife of the event and how it carries on in the life of a community of young people?
Absolutely. So where my mind is going with this is, are you able maybe to capture some quotes or stories about people that have gone through the program that would tell the story about how this one event really shapes things in the future? That's what I would recommend anyways.
That's really helpful.
Yeah. All right. If there are no other questions, I will end the webinar. But please, as I said, reach out to me if there's anything that I can help you with. And blessings upon all of you, and thank you for all that you're doing to spread the gospel in all your different areas.
Thank you,
Michael. Thanks for your hard work making this happen.
Absolutely. Have a blessed day, everyone.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.